Well, welcome to the first episode of Let's Ponder. And like I said, I don't know where this is going. Like I told my people around here, this is just something that we're going to create, see if we can have fun with the truth, and see if we can get to the bottom of some stuff. We probably never will, but no harm in talking about it and finding out if we at least got a chance. My name is Neil Rideout. You know, I have a little film studio here in my basement, along with the other parts of the man cave that stick out here. As you can see, I'm a big Boston Bruins fan. I'm also a New England Patriots fan. Some of my views include the fact that I'm liberal in Canada. I vote liberal most of the time, mostly all the time. Actually, since I was 18, I think I voted liberal. I'm a Republican in the U.S. I love the fact that we're going to both have a new Prime Minister of Canada, hopefully in the next election, and a new President in the U.S. Let's get down to some of the things that I'd like to talk about, and that is I really like get my information from the Cape Breton Post or from other news organizations around the area. And some of the great things that I've been looking at around here this summer has been, and as you can see, I have a teleprompter in my desk here, and it's systematically streaming me news feeds, and I'm just trying to adjust my microphone, because like I said, this is the first time I've done this in the studio. So please be a little patient. If you want to come to the studio here and sit down and watch it, I do it every second or third morning. Just send me an email. The email is, I think, Let's Ponder, or ponderinglive@gmail.com. That's it. Ponderinglive@gmail.com. And I'll put that up on the screen there in a few minutes. One of the things that I noticed in the Cape Breton Post yesterday was the fact that a young girl got bitten by a pit bull. You know, pit bulls are not inherently vicious animals. We create a pit bull for what he is. You can take a chihuahua and turn him into a vicious animal if you mistreat him. And I think, you know, like most, you know, dogs, they protect their owners. And this morning I read in the paper that this dog was just protecting its owner. So if we are going to assess euthanizing a dog, let's do it for all the right reasons, and not because somebody somebody was bitten by a dog that was, you know, just protecting its owner. And that's to take that to light, you know, how dogs react in their own home, that's their domain. Their owners are basically the masters, and the dog is going to protect the home. I had a black lab that did the same thing. You know, you wanna get silly in my home, that dog's gonna let you know he's second in command, and he's not going to, you know, he's not gonna back down from you by no means. But since then, that poor dog has left us. Dogs, they are quite the protectors of this world. You know, I always said if I can't own a 9mm, I might as well own a dog. You know, the dog will go off less. Anyway, I'm here in Nova Scotia. I've been here for 19 years. And every now and then I ponder on Facebook. And pondering means see if we can find out the truth. Or let's give a different view of the truth, because I've been watching TV and watching the news up here, and it's like maybe we gotta have our own opinions on it. Let's first take a look at let's take a look at Enterprise Cape Breton. You know, and this has been bugging me for quite some time. I am a liberal. I was, as I said, born liberal, probably die liberal. Love Justin Trudeau and everything he stands for. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of marijuana. Never done drugs in my life. Not going to start now, even if they do legalize it. I think any legal drug is illegal for a reason, and that probably means there's been medical studies based on the fact that it causes brain damage. I quit smoking 7 years ago because I felt that it was causing undue and irreparable harm to my body. Why would why would we want to encourage drugs? You know, we are the people that are going to lead the next generation to success or failure. And if we lead them into a path of drugs by saying, you know, hey, it's legal now, is that the right message we're sending? No matter how you look at it, no matter how you get down and dirty with it, there's been studies that'll turn around and tell you drugs are bad. There's reasons why these drugs are illegal from the start. You know, if we legalize marijuana, what's the next drug we're going to legalize? PCB? Are we going to legalize, methamphetamine? Are we going to legalize cocaine? You know, where do we stop legalizing illegal drugs? You know, does the next generation say, oh, well, we legalized marijuana? And somebody said to me, well, you know, alcohol was illegal during Prohibition. Well, I don't think we had Prohibition here in Canada. I think that's an American thing. But, you know, realistically, it was abolished because a whole bunch of people decided that there was no long-term health effects caused by moderate consumption of alcohol. In actual fact, now I think there are researchers out there that says, you know, alcohol in moderation is actually good for the body because it kills some of the bad bacteria that are inside of us. It makes us a little peppy too, I think. But you know, getting to the fact that we can't turn around and legalize a drug that's illegal. And if it ever becomes legal, I probably know that there's been studies and studies and studies, and I personally have experienced, you know, how intelligence can be lost by excessive drug use. Anyway, let's move on. I really like what Stephen Harper done. A lot of people do not like Stephen Harper. You know, I'm a liberal. I'm supposed to not like the man by inherency. I like Stephen Harper. You know, too bad he's a PC and not a liberal. Two of the things that I liked was the fact that he abolished Enterprise Cape Breton. I think that was a major step forward for this island. You know, not everybody can turn around and say, you know, we don't have that organization bearing a load on us anymore. Now we might have a fair shake of getting some development funds into Cape Breton and actually build something here without the cronyism and the you know, partyisms that go along with it. So, you know, I applaud the abolishment. And you know, I voted for Mark Eiking so many times, and I had to look back and, you know, I had an opportunity to shake Mark's hand last week at the Cold Dust Days here. And, you know, I respect the man unbelievably. And I still today ponder why he supported the fact that, why he supported Enterprise Cape Breton so thoroughly. I don't know that one. You know, someone knows that. You know, was he just taking an opposing view to the government? Because, you know, facts have clearly shown that the people running Enterprise Cape Breton were actually doing it illegally, or doing, you know, the president has been now, I don't know if he's been indicted, but he's actually You know, it's been proven that he's been doing illegal things with Enterprise Cape Breton and his job and stuff like that. So I just, you know, it's a good thing that they're abolished. Now let's put something in place that's going to get federal money down to the small businesses in rural towns and communities in Sydney and Glace Bay and New Waterford and Neils Harbor and, you know, Shetty Camp and Ingonish and St. Peter's and Port Hawkesbury. Let's get an organization in place that's not going to be the management of economic downturn. Let's get an organization in place that's actually going to assess each idea, each new idea that comes in. You know, this island is full of entrepreneurs. Literally. A lot of people have some great ideas. I happened upon several in the last couple of years here that I felt were real good ideas that would bring jobs here. And you know, small business is the genetic makeup of rural economic success. It is. And that's what we've got to fund. No matter if a company creates 1 job, 2 jobs, 5 jobs, or 500 jobs. That's what we've got to do. Anyway, that's my ponderance on that. And I'm probably going to come back and rewrite this one again after I find out more about what's happened to the former president of Enterprise Cape Breton. The next topic that I want to talk about right quick, and I know I've got somebody over there just waving at me, but the next topic I want to talk about right quick is the U.S. border. I was listening to Glenn Beck yesterday, and Glenn actually went, and I have all of Glenn's books autographed, and Glenn actually went to the Texas border. Now you're going to say to me, Neil, why are we concerning ourselves with what's going on in the U.S.? Well, here's why. We have friends south of the border that are probably going to need our help if they can't get it right. And I, for one, would volunteer my time to go to the Mexican border and defend it, because you know, if we don't help or we don't support our American friends to the south, in 10 years, after they get overrun by illegal aliens, how secure you think the Canadian border is going to be? Let's just talk about that. We have the largest, the longest unsecured border in the world with our friends to the south. We have our border even more unsecure, or, you know, when I say unsecure, I'm not saying that it's not secure. It is totally secure for people crossing it. But if you want to cross the Canadian border with the U.S., I'm sure there's a river in New Brunswick, or there's places on the prairie whereby you can just come across the border. And you know, we don't even have the Rio Grande separating us. So 10 years from now, after the U.S. gets overrun by illegal aliens, how solid do you think that virtual wall is going to be on the 49 parallel? Just something to ponder. Something really to ponder. Glenn was down on the border the other day, and he was talking about how the drug cartels are lobbing 50 caliber shells over the border to lay down suppression fire so they can smuggle these illegal kids and families into the U.S. Well, I don't know, but is that the appropriate way of dealing with it? You know, I don't know what the solution is down there, and I don't want to follow it. I know I've got a lot of friends in the U.S. I've spent a lot of time in the U.S. And, you know, the Americans have to do something on the Mexican border. They do. They need to shore up that border. They need to bring, and I support Rick Perry, the governor of Texas, in deploying the National Guard. That has to be done. Jan Brewer, governor of Arizona, you know, I hope she jumps over Rick Perry and does more than just bringing the National Guard. Because it has to stop. You know, even if we put, you know, 200,000 troops in the border and put entry points there. Let's process everybody. Let's not let them swim across the Rio Grande, put them aboard buses for God only knows where. You know, if we put these kids on buses, or if the Americans, I should say, put these kids on buses and bus them around the country, how do we know that these kids are not being bused to, like, Butte, Montana? Or Great Falls, which is only probably no more than 30 miles away from the Canadian border. You know, I'd love to help my American friends with this problem, and you know, like I said, if you want me to volunteer to help secure your border, I'm available. I'm definitely available, because if you guys don't deal with it now, us Canadians will probably have to deal with it in 10 years. Anyway, on that note, that's enough for me pondering today. If you like it, like us on Facebook. We've just created a new group that says Let's Ponder. And I look forward to your views and opinions, and you know, let's see where we can take this into something new. Anyway, have a great day, y'all.